Evolution of Princess Rapunzel.
Tangled
2010.
Rapunzel voiced by Delaney Rosdian as a child, and Mandy Moore as an adult, first appears as an infant princess, who was born to a queen having inherited the healing abilities of a magical flower the ailing queen ingested. While pregnant, the princess is kidnapped by a vain old woman named Mother Gothel the night after the princess was born. Gothel then uses her hair to remain young and beautiful. Gothel raises the princess in an isolated tower, from which Rapunzel sees the release of thousands of floating lanterns, unaware that these lanterns are actually the kingdom's way of remembering her. As her 18th birthday arrives, Rapunzel grows increasingly eager to leave the tower and see the floating lanterns. One day, a wanted thief named Flynn Rider appears in the tower, and after capturing him and finding out who he is, Rapunzel blackmails him to take her outside to see the lanterns in her mother's absence. However, Gothel soon learns of Rapunzel's disobedience and pursues them, hiring a pair of thieves to incapacitate Flynn. Rapunzel and Flynn eventually arrive at the kingdom in time for the lantern ceremony. Soon afterwards, Flynn is ambushed and turned into the police by his former partners in crime, the Stabbington brothers, and is sentenced to death. However, before the brothers can harm Rapunzel, Gothel knocks them unconscious and takes a heartbroken Rapunzel back to the tower. Back in her bedroom, Rapunzel suddenly regains subconscious memories of her true identity and rebels against Gothel. However, Gothel, unwilling to lose Rapunzel, traps her when Flynn escapes and arrives at the tower to save Rapunzel. Gothel stabs him, desperate to save him. Rapunzel promises to do whatever Gothel pleases. In return, Gothel complies. But just before Rapunzel can heal him, Flynn cuts her hair short with a mirror shard, causing it to turn brown and lose all of its magical powers, resulting in Gothel's death. Flynn dies in Rapunzel's arms, but the flower's magic manifests itself through Rapunzel's tears and returns Flynn to life. Flynn returns Rapunzel to the palace, where she is finally reunited with her parents.
Prep and Landing. Naughty vs. Nice 2011.
Grace Goodwin wears a Disney princess shirt that has a picture of Rapunzel, along with Snow White and Cinderella.
Tangled Ever After 2012.
In this 6-minute short movie, the entire kingdom is preparing for Rapunzel's marriage to Eugene. Several guests are in attendance, including Rapunzel's birth parents, the king and queen, just as a brown-haired Rapunzel, accompanied by her father, completes her journey down the aisle to unite with Eugene Maximus, who is carrying the wedding rings on a pillow in his mouth, has a reaction to one of Pascal's flower petals, and sneezes, expelling the rings down the aisle and out onto the city streets. Desperate to retrieve them, Pascal and Maximus sneak out of the chapel, while Rapunzel and Eugene say their wedding vows. Later, when Maximus and Pascal manage to get the rings back, the couple and everyone else are shocked at the grotesque-looking Maximus and Pascal, both covered with tar, who offer the rings. Finally, Rapunzel with Eugene exchanged their rings as the priest pronounced the couple husband and wife.
Saturday Night Live 2012.
Rapunzel is portrayed by Lindsay Lohan. She appears in a hilarious SNL skit, The Real Housewives of Disney.
Frozen 2013.
Rapunzel and Eugene have a cameo appearance on Elsa's coronation day. Rapunzel is shown at the front gate's grand opening as Anna runs out singing for the first time in forever.
Once Upon a Time 2014.
Rapunzel appears as two different, yet unrelated versions of herself in the ABC fantasy drama series First Iteration. Rapunzel appears in the 14th episode of Season 3, titled The Tower, and was played by Alexandra Matz. Second, Rapunzel appears in the 7th season as one of the primary antagonists. Here, she is also Lady Tremaine. She is portrayed primarily by Gabrielle Anwar and Megan Warner in her younger form.
Sophia
the First
2014.
Rapunzel appears in the episode The Curse of Princess Ivy. Called upon by the Amulet of Avalor, Rapunzel rescues Princess Sophia and Princess Amber from a crevice by letting them climb her 70-foot-long blonde hair. Flying back to Encantia on one of the dragons, she teaches Amber about the consequences of her actions. towards Sophia in the form of a song, "Risk It All," and refers to Eugene in it. She then gives Amber one final piece of advice and vanishes back to Corona.
Tangled, the musical 2015.
Rapunzel appears portrayed by Alicia Ainsley. The musical is presented exclusively aboard the Disney Magic. It's the first ever stage adaptation of the beloved animated movie Tangled, combining a heartfelt story and enchanting score and lavish production numbers. The new musical showcases the thrilling adventure of Rapunzel and Flynn Rider as they face ruffians, thugs, and a budding romance on an exhilarating journey of self-discovery.
As told by Emoji 2016.
An emoticon version of Rapunzel appears in the Tangled entry of the short series
Tangled, Before Ever After 2017.
Rapunzel is adjusting to her new life as Princess of Corona. 6 months after the events of Tangled, Rapunzel's coronation is set to happen in a few days. Her father restricts her freedom, prepared to not lose his daughter once more. In the middle of all this stress, on the night of the royal banquet, Eugene publicly proposes to Rapunzel, but she rejects it, feeling she is not sure if she is interested to stay at the palace after marriage, and that she needs to sort out her life first. On that night, she is sneaked out from the kingdom by her lady-in-waiting Cassandra, so that she can get her mind off her problems. When Cassandra shows her the place where the mystical golden flower that saved her mother and herself was found, she touches one of the mystical rock spikes that started to sprout around a year ago, causing her 70 feet long blonde hair to grow back and possessing new abilities. The story continues as she is confronted by a known enemy of the kingdom on her coronation day and is forbidden to leave the walls of Corona without her father's consent. In her bedchamber, Rapunzel is determined to fill her journal with her own adventures and solve the mystery of her hair's miraculous return.
Tangled, the series 2017.
Rapunzel appears in the animated television series. Most of the first season is set on her uncovering the mystery of her new hair and its connection to the mystical rock spikes she had discovered several weeks ago, with the help of her lady-in-waiting Cassandra, who later turns out to be Mother Gothel's daughter, and a young scientist named Varian. In addition, she tries her best on how to be a good princess and future queen of Corona, even though her naive and gullible ways often get her into trouble.
Zootopia 2017.
A horse version of Rapunzel appeared on the cover of Duke Weaselton's bootleg copy of Wrangled.
Chibi Tiny Tales 2021.
Rapunzel appears as the cute chibi form on the comedy short series
Lego Disney Princess, The Castle Quest 2023.
Rapunzel appears as one of the main characters in Lego's animated special
Once Upon a Studio 2023.
Rapunzel appears inside the Disney Animation Studio when she passes Mickey Mouse and hits Carl with her pan off-screen to save Clarabelle Cow.